Alright, today we're going to look at the fuel system. Is going to be the layout of how we'll do it. We're running a single Aeroflow, it's like a Holly black copy pump. It will be single -8, all push lock hose. We'll have the filter there, and then the fuel line will run up through the car and to the engine bay. So today we're going to go to Bunnings and suss out some bolts that are long enough to fit through here and come out underneath the bloody, holes, etc. In the bottom of the bastard. So let's go. Woo! Dead set, typical Brisbane. Hasn't been in about 3 years and suddenly it's fucking Storm City. Triple J with the tunes today, boys. Bunnings, could you get any bigger? I literally just want bolts. Just move! I swear if I hear one more person talk about how good the weather is, I'm gonna be pissed. So, a bit of a backstory. We broke the car. You all know about that. There was those videos, my previous videos, where we had the Holden V8, the 304, and we went to Power Cruise, blew it up. But basically all due to my own stupidity, where we'd done a great big burnout and then not checked the engine over, and apparently, one of the bearings was pretty worse for wear. Actually, all of the bearings were rooted, but one let go before we'd even got it out onto the track. So I'd essentially wasted about $1,000 getting the car to Power Cruise and got all the boys out. One guy came down from Townsville, and we he had a great time in his blown VZ Ute. But anyway, so skip a few months down the track and we're back on the horse. So I sold that combo, sold the whole lot, whatever was reusable, redeemable out of it, got sold. So that gave me a bit of cash. I've basically, in that time, moved, quit my job, so I'm trying to become an electrician. That's not coming to fruition yet, but anyway, so money was tight for a little while. It's always tight, isn't it? And yeah, anyway, so now we're kind of getting back into it. So step one was use what I had, which to start, doing some work on the car, and that was the fuel system. So we removed the fuel cell out of the boot, patched all the holes, and we've raised the fuel cell up so that the little sump thing on the bottom is now in the actual boot, rather than sitting down below outside, where it's exposed to what is going to be all the flames and the fire and the molten rubber and the raw methanol spewing out of the pipes. So the car is going to be a burnout car. We are going to use an LS engine. We're going to use a Castlemaine rod shop conversion kit. They do it all for you. They give you the engine mounts, the pipes. You can get the big pipes in the kit now, which is cool, like the 1 7/8 primary and 3.5 inch collector jobbies. and they give you a turbo 400 transmission cross member. They give you a trans mount. Engine mounts I've already said. They include a flex plate so you can use the standard turbo 400 converter. Like, oh my god, they just sorted out for you. They've really come to the party. So my job is to get an LS motor together for, you know, skids using the parts that are smart to buy and yet not spending you know, 10 or 15,000 on a motor. So anyway, enough of all that. We're going to today bolt the fuel cell down. We're going to use the existing bolt holes that it had, but we're just going to basically spaced it up using timber so that the fuel cell is raised and therefore the sump is inside the boot. So because we've raised it up so high, I bought some 100mm bolts, but you know, 100mm too short, so needed some 5-inch 5/16 hex head jobbies, and we're gonna bolt them down so that it doesn't move around and everything's nice and dandy. What are you doing, mate? Get out of it. Very good. Really, there's only one thing that you guys need to see in regards to installing the bolts. Lovely. Stoked with how that's turned out. As I said, where's the illumination? There we go. Just a bit of timber. We got bolts. It's actually, you can't really see, but it's sort of spaced out using some grommets and some washers so that the actual aluminium sort of tabs here don't bend, and we've got some squishy kind of rubbery stuff there to pad it a little bit, but she's in there nice and solid now. And yeah, as I said, much better to sort of have the whole fuel system away from the flames. And just quickly underneath here, oh yep, there we go. Well, I mean, you can pretty well see what we've done here. Just screwed aluminium, pretty thin stuff, but just sort of covered all the holes, sealant, stuff like that. And then these are the engine, not the engine, the fuel cell bolts coming through there. That'll about do it for today, I reckon, gents. But definitely follow along with the build if you're interested in building a really crappy thrown together skid car. I mean, you know, what more could you want in life? We're going to be doing the fuel system first, so we'll tackle the whole thing, get it ready. As previously mentioned, it will be running on methanol, so the whole fuel system will have to be to suit. We have the carby, we have the fuel log, we have the pump. Just going to run one pump for now. We can add a second one later on if it gets a little bit fuel starvy. And yes, but I'll explain it sort of once we get all the parts together. We'll go through sort of step by step, and I'll show you where I'm going to run the fuel lines and why, and get the fuel system ticked off. Bought an engine yesterday, turns out has a cracked sleeve, cracked block, whatever. So in case you guys don't know, that pretty much means you it's an LS1, so you basically, it's junk now, but that's okay. There's more blocks around. North side of Brisbane, if anyone's got one, send us a message, you know. Yeah. Cash money waiting. And very good. So like and subscribe if you if you're liking the new direction of the build. Leave us a comment and let me know your thoughts. Cheers, boys.